Another student, Olivia, said, the trip was an amazing experience that I can confidently say was not only eye-opening, but life-altering. On the trip, I was able to see firsthand the differences between our group and the people from Carolina. I understood how open communication greatly impacts those who come from different walks of life. I never had a bad day in the trip and would confidently recommend it to those interested in leaving their bubble and learning something new. Lastly, Brady said this, the experiences gathered while embarking on a journey to Washington, D.C. and South Carolina are unlike anything I've ever experienced. The people I got to chat with in D.C., from representatives to staffers to admirals, was fascinating. They provided me with a lot of information on what really goes on in D.C. and the potential jobs I can hold in the future. However, I enjoyed learning about life in South Carolina more than anything. The lifestyles of farmers and the military are so different, yet still similar from our lifestyles in the urban and suburban Northeast. American Tributaries provided me with a nuanced perspective of my fellow Americans that, before the trip, I knew so little about.
So I teach high schoolers, and to me, that's where kids are trying to figure out who they're going to be, right? They're going out into the world and what's going to be important to you. There's a lot of programs that say they can provide something like that, but very often it's in a shallow way or in a sort of self-serving way. And here the kids are building their identities around the idea of like committing to civic life, even with people they might disagree with, right? Committing to understanding government and being, saying that's who I am, right? I'm somebody who cares about this civic life that we share. I'm somebody who cares about the government that controls the circumstances that we live in. And I'm somebody who can get to know and care about people from a very different background, right? So as they're deciding who they're gonna be, that's what they're doing. And I think that's really, really unique. Please do support American Tributaries.
My son Leo, when he went to DC, as Michael talked about, he was captivated by the interns, who many of them were college students, and they were working with staffers and elected officials. And he lit up and said, I want to do that when I'm in college. I want to spend one of my summers or semesters working with the federal government. In South Carolina, the American Tributary Group got to dine with other people, and food is essential for survival, and food brings people together. And then just on a practical level, I understand that most people here have children, and some of them maybe are prospective candidates to travel with Michael and Frank. My son wants to study political science, philosophy, and law, in part because of the trip. And he's applying to a number of universities in the American South, and he wrote some of his supplement essays about the experience. So it was transformative, and our family's very grateful.
I think our notion of the country is also distorted. We get all those filters, we have all these echo chambers and silos and bubbles we all live in. And that preconditions us to have certain expectations, certain thoughts. And that's why we travel. That's why we do what we do. It's to get the students and their families and their friends, by extension, to get to meet other Americans outside of our bubble, face to face, on the ground.